What's going on, guys? Charlie Jones here from the Armed and Successful podcast, a podcast all about arming yourself with the knowledge to be successful in life and business. Today's guest, you may know. If you don't know, you will soon, especially because he is the up and coming top power slap. He's going to be a champion. I'm telling you, you're going to be the best in the world. I can
Let's
feel it
go.
on
Let's
Dana
go.
White's new baby power slap, Mr. Rayden, the animal Bombardier. What's up, brother?
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, man. I'm really excited to be here, brother.
Dude, my pleasure, my pleasure. So we were talking a little bit offline, right? So, like I said, we're going to keep it really, really, laid back. So it takes a special kind of person to slap the hell out of people, right? So where do
Yeah.
you get that tenacity? Like I've been in Macy's or Walmart or something. I want to slap people, but I haven't done it. You get the opportunity to do it. What inside of you pushes you to do this?
No matter what fight discipline it is, I'm a warrior. I can feel my warrior spirit flowing through my body. If you guys ever watch Dragon Ball when they have the chakra coming out of them and it's
Yes.
flowing, I'm a warrior. I fight the same as if it was for free versus if it was for money. So when it does take a special type of person to be able to just agree to go in there to get hit and to hit. So with that being said, I think it takes a special situation to push somebody to do something like that. And I was in a position where it was do or die. So I needed to be there. I wasn't leaving without a fight.
That's awesome, man. So, taking a special kind of person, I'm gonna build off of that. We talked a little bit offline. Not a lot of people know, but I do because I'm paying attention to what you're doing because I love what's going on so much. You were without a home, and now you're not. So, what's this transition feel like? What is this? You have a star over you right now, brother. If you don't see it, I see it. You have a star over and behind you. What does this feel like?
Appreciate it. I always thought that I would be in this position, and I thought maybe it would be years later, but it came a lot quicker. And I was working diligently and hard. And when you're really working your hardest and you're going to your dreams the best you can, the universe will serve you back. you know? So I think it was really crazy because I was living at the beach because I didn't want the cops to pull up on me. So the beach I found was the best place to go. And I was literally eating spaghetti cans. Like I had zero food. I didn't have like government assistance or anything like that. So like I was like trying to get some food from family members and stuff. So like to go from sleeping in your car with your dog to being on top of the Fighters Hotel. I've never been to Vegas before, and I'm looking down at the Spear, and I'm about to fight in front of Dana White. That all happened so quickly, and it was so quick that it felt fake. Like I
Mhm.
wasn't sure if it was real. Like these emails, like I can't tell if they're real. You know what I mean? Until I start doing my blood tests, my drug tests. It's I'm not even too religious, but it's been such a blessing.
That's amazing, man. That's super amazing, and I'm super proud of what you're doing so far. So to build on that, who in your life are you fighting for? I mean, I know for me, I have kids and my wife and family. Well, a small amount of family left. Who's keeping you going besides yourself?
So my son, he's 10 months old. His name is King. Every time I walk out, everybody knows I point at my hand. And I didn't even mean to make a signature walkout every time that I walk, but I'm pointing at my whys. I'm pointing at my reason. And my little boy, he's more than enough motivation than I'll ever need for anything. So I've had three fights in the past 4 months you know. So
Hmm.
I'm active, man. Ever since he was born, I hopped on that bike and I started working, man. And sometimes as a man, you know what you're doing to try to make sure that your family's good in the future.
Hmm.
And you got to take a lot of shit along the way. So like me going to leave to go to Power Slap, I actually ended up getting into like a court situation with my kid, and like people call me like selfish and like that I'm about making bad choices, and it's like you need to be there every single day and flip patties. Like, no, dude, like I'm trying to break this cycle. Like we're getting fucking eviction notices on our apartment when there's 8 people living here every single month.
Hmm.
Like my son lives here. Like I need to break out and get my own things.
Hmm.
And they didn't see what I could see. And they didn't believe in me as far as like my baby mama and her family. I'm really alone a lot. I'm alone 24/7. My dad committed suicide. Shortly after that, my
Sorry to hear
grandma
that.
passed away from COVID, and I moved out here to pursue fighting, so I didn't really have anybody. So when me and my girlfriend broke up, I ended up living in my car, and I told her I was going to keep pursuing fighting, and she said, if you're going to keep pursuing fighting, then it's over. And I said, well, I'm really sorry, but this is something that I feel in my heart that I must do. And I'm so glad that it came back to me months later because you can see it in their face. I'm not trying to be like, but like,
Yeah.
I wish you would have believed in me more because I get to show this to my son as he gets older.
Well, it's amazing, man. As men, and you touched on it a lot, me specifically, but there's a lot of men, I'm sure yourself, we struggle around finding our identity, which is 90% of the time taking care of our family, especially when you have children. So we have the innate, you know, um, struggle to say, what are we going to do to make it work? And when you have an opportunity like you do right now, and the dream that you've been following and the dream that you're going to continue to follow, you have to take that chance. So I applaud you for seeing beyond what's in front of you, because that's the struggle of
Thank
a
you.
lot of people right now.
You
You
have
know,
to go through a tunnel of darkness and you know the path. Maybe you can't see it, but you keep treading along on the path. I'm just like you said, I'm a fucking normal guy. I'm a normal guy. I smoke a bunch of weed. I play video games. I'm just a dad. You know what I mean? So just to be in this position, I want to let other people know that they can do the same thing. And I'm actually working on something bigger than myself right now. And right now, I'm gonna try to start a school drive and a shoe drive. And I don't have all the money in the world, but if I can start with one person or 2 people, or get to like a little program of kids where I can get them all some backpacks, and I'm sure one of them needs a pair of shoes. I really want to do something bigger than with this platform than bigger than me and my needs. And maybe I don't have the money, but I can get I can gather school supplies. I can figure it out. I can try to make a good cause because I really want to do some positive things with this, man.
dude, that's amazing. And we'll talk offline, because you're really speaking to my heart. You're like tugging at the strings, brother. I will 100% support that and anything you need. And it's not just for the podcast. Like I said, you have my
Yeah,
number.
of
We'll
course.
talk. We'll get it going. And you're right, because you don't have to have everything. But I say this all the time, and I'll say it again. My network is my net worth, right? I can have $0 in the bank, but $1 million in friends. And you're building that, right? You're building that. You're saying she didn't believe in you. You believe in you right now. And now eventually she's probably going to come around and start believing more and more. And, if it's something that you want, I hope it works. If it's not, then I hope it doesn't. But
I'm right now. I'm started talking to. I found another person that has a lot of great qualities that I've always looked for in a person, and it's really hard to bring somebody into your life when you got a lot of things going for yourself, when you got a business going, when you're on TV, when you're with important people. So it's like, who do I choose to bring into my life, because I don't want any negativity. And right now, I got a fucking blank canvas and I'm really painting it from
mhm,
my job to everything. Like I'm trying to enjoy every single moment of my life. I'm done being negative. I'm done being upset and sad. I feel great. I feel amazing, you know?
yeah, that dude, that's awesome. And you brought it up too, and I'm glad you brought it up, because I want to touch on it. You said, you're building a business. Has it really got into your brain yet that like, wow, this is happening? Because when you say you're building a business, what I tell people, and I'll tell you the same thing, you can take it or leave it, you are the business. Like, you're the brand.
Yeah.
You're not creating your brand, you're the brand. Powerslap's awesome. That's your platform, right? But you're building a business and a brand behind yourself, and you are the business. So have you thought about the next step beyond this, or are you just looking, step to step?
Yeah, so there was always a goal that I had in mind before I started, being in power slap in general, is I always wanted to reach and give back to kids that were really troubled youth.
Mhm.
And I think that just building a brand, I don't think I necessarily, obviously, you want to bring some money in. But I think building a brand, I would just want to really capitalize and help as many people as I can. Like I always wanted to have a gym. I always wanted to be able to be like, hey, if you guys are going through some shit at school, maybe you shouldn't go and smoke weed and go walk around all these neighborhoods
Mhm.
and go do all this stuff. Like if you actually had something to do after school, you wouldn't be getting into trouble, and maybe you'd be surrounded by some good people, so I always wanted to have a gym
Mhm.
and just have it there for troubled people in the community. And if that means, like myself being a brand, if it means me just selling, my t-shirts and pictures, and I want to be on TV, I want to pursue acting, I want to pursue modeling. I mean, I don't look like a fucking model, but I feel like I can do it, man. Anything I set my mind to, I really believe I can do.
Listen, what's a model anymore? Today's day, everybody's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Mhm.
true.
So you brought up something that I want to touch on too, because you brought up the fact that you want to help troubled youth, right? Is that something that's inspired from your own life? Like, did you grow up with some issues like we all have, or?
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't grow up with my father. My mom and my dad split real young. She ended up meeting a sailor from the other side of the country in Georgia. She married him 3 months into knowing him, and so that took me from California to Georgia. For most, a lot of people don't know, but I'm also from Georgia. I lived half my
Hmm.
life in Georgia, and so just going over there, there's a lot of racism. There's a lot of you know, just gang stuff in the area. I
Hmm.
grew up in a place where people couldn't really go to the next neighborhood because there was like rival people, and you would get like ran out. And I was really fat. I was really smelly. I grew up with like with a Republican family. I grew up in a really I grew up in a really different household than these other kids did.
Hmm.
And I got made fun of for it. Like I'm walking into school with American flag on my shirt, and they're making fun of my shoes, and
Yeah.
I'm getting physically assaulted every day. Like I mean, I'll get on the bus now and I'll get smacked in the back of the head, or I haven't even told this story before, but I got backed into corner at the gym in middle school, and I got hit with hockey sticks with a bunch of people, and I went to go tell, and I got in trouble. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So just uh, just growing up in an area like that, like I went to juvenile hall for a while. I got caught with some fighting and some gang affiliation stuff, and that's because I was in the wrong area, and that's why I really want to touch the kids around here, man. Like I've been able to talk to some of the youth around here, and when you influence them, people don't know how hard that influences a 15, 16, 17-year-old kid. I've seen somebody talk to a 16, 17-year-old kid about music, and next thing you know, they're all about music. And then you talk to them about boxing, and like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be a boxer now. Let's make sure that they stay away from, oh, let me be a gangster, oh, let me go sell weed, let me, you know what I mean, like let's
Mhm.
do some really good shit. And unfortunately, I ended up going to towards the wrong paths, and I want to guide people away from that. And I was 280 pounds in juvenile hall. I never thought I would ever have a car. I never thought anything like that. Just those things I could never fathom. So it's just amazing to be where I'm at right now.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Super inspirational too. And we talked about this. I'm from Cali too, so I know how Cali was, and and moving from Cali, I moved from Cali to Maryland, and completely different. The weather sucks, by the way, and I'm still here, so I hate cold weather. But the people are just cold. In Cali, it's like, hey, bro, what's up, man? What's up, dude? The vibe
Yeah,
is different. in certain areas, you can't walk into. You got to wear black and white. We all know that. But for the most part, around your friends and family, it's chill. So that's a whole different story. So what are you going to do? This is something that's really important in terms of where I'm going. What are you going to do when you succeed? Because you will succeed in what you're doing. So have you thought that far ahead, like with your son? Like what's the plans beyond Power Slap?
You know, somebody asked me the other day, like, what's the goal, even if Power Slap doesn't pan out the way that I want it to, and it will, and I promise it will. But at the end of the day, I just want to be okay.
Yeah.
Like I don't want anything. Like there's nothing that I could think in the world that's material that I want.
Hmm.
I think everybody has financial issues, but like for me, I just want to be okay. I don't want a lot. I just want my bills paid for. I just want to have my son. I want to make sure my dog's okay. There's nothing else in the world that I want. And I'm like really close to that. So as far as saying like when I succeed, like I'm in my head, I'm really close to that. And I'm really close to being okay. And that's all I've ever wanted. So right now I've been moving a lot of things out of my place because I'm setting up for my son to come in here. And a lot of people on the show saw that I didn't have custody of my son because I was going through some court cases, and
Hmm.
I was homeless. So how could I take care of him?
Sure.
So soon I'm about to put his crib right here, and I'm gonna have him on the weekends and stuff. And it's just no matter how negative things get, man, like things will end up better than yesterday. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? If today's shit, tomorrow can't be as bad.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Now I got a question for you, and this is way off topic, but it's because this is I talking about business and trying to get information from people to help me, and you believe it or not, you helped me with some questions I've had, but to help other people, and it's
Yeah,
kind of random. And if you don't want to answer, you don't have to, but it's a random question. Um, do they pay you as an individual through Power Slap, or do they pay you as a business?
they pay me as an individual.
Okay.
We are independent contractors.
Got you. The only reason I'm asking this is because I had a very similar conversation with another individual, and I like to put information out there because with my business, I pay everybody 1099 as individuals too, but I always suggest for them, and it's important for anybody watching this too, if you're able to start an LLC, have the business or whoever pay you as an LLC because it's a pass through and you can save on taxes and a lot more write offs. So it's just a question I had.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's those type of things, man. Like I personally, I don't have any management. I'm managing myself,
Gotcha.
which has been I don't think it's stuff things that I want to do like that. I
Mhm.
think I'm really good at being there at those things, but as far as
Mhm.
like discussing like logistics and money and things like that, like it's just not within my personality. Like I feel like I know my worth, so
Sure.
I don't want to be rude to somebody, or I don't want to just not respond.
Mhm.
Like I'm super interested in finding a management team for my next fight, and having them try to look around for some sponsors and stuff because
Mhm.
um not too long ago, like I was literally eating fucking canned food every single day.
Sure.
So I got sponsored by a company last month, and it only lasted, just for a month because they wanted to test out how it
Sure.
was going, which it's been great.
Mhm.
But they gave me like they did my meal prepping plans and stuff like
Nice.
that, and I didn't have to pay a dime. And for me, like for somebody that doesn't have meals like in the past, it's like wow, like they're feeding me like every other day. And I'm the
Wow.
type of guy that I can go without eating for a couple days because that's happened a lot of times. So
Mhm.
if I can just eat this day and then fast this day and then eat this day, then I'll have enough gas to be able to get to this place, and I'll make
Sure.
sure I can get to my kid. And you know,
Sure.
um, it was crazy. Like before, when I was living at the beach, it was like, of course, I want to be the best father that I can be. I want to be there every day to hug my son. I want to sleep with him. But realistically, it's like I gotta have money coming in
Sure.
to be able to live because these people at the house, they're not my family. They're my son's family. They don't, bring me in like their own.
Sure.
So So yeah, man, my son's been the biggest motivation. If there's anybody that I have to give credit to for this whole thing, that little dude has no idea that he created a fucking monster.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. You know, anybody's watching that are, and I'm only not speaking to women because I don't know how to, get in their heads. But as a man, I know how important it is for me to show my sons and my daughter what I'm doing, how I'm doing, and make them realize that at the end of the day, they are the reason for all this. So the fact that you're,
Yeah.
you know, given that credit right now shows your maturity as a man. So I appreciate you saying that.
I don't think that I'd be in this position if it was for him. If it wasn't for him, literally, I guarantee you. Like, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have had those couple fights within the past couple months. You know, and
Got you.
things aren't perfect right now, but I want. He's 10 months old, so by the time maybe like within like real soon, because I want to be around him every day.
Hmm.
I want to be able to provide for him and myself and everything and still have, extra. Like I want to be able to save for his future. I want to do some like real man parent shit. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Like I really want to fucking set a good example. I really want to get him his own room. And I'm not trying to talk publicly bad about anybody, but like when you got so many people living in one space and you guys are having all these, like, problems as far as getting
Hmm.
possibly kicked out, like I have my own place now and by myself. Obviously,
Yeah.
like I'm doing something right. Why would I take advice from somebody that I look at them, I wouldn't take advice from them. Like why would I
Sure.
take advice from them? So why would I take their words to my heart?
Hmm.
So people are receiving so much shit while they're trying to get through their struggles. Like, just get through it because there's fucking great things on the other side.
100%. And that's something I always say too, and you really touched on it. Is I'll listen to everybody, but I'm only going to hear the people that are more successful than me because that's where I'm trying to be. I don't want to listen to the voices behind me. I want to listen to the voices that are in front. So
Yeah.
it's very important to do that. And on a side note, and on the same topic too, anybody that's watching right now, if you guys are a sponsor and you want to sponsor Rayden, I'll make sure that I contact you guys to him. You guys need to make sure you sponsor this guy. Do
Let's
it now.
go.
Do it now because he's blowing up. He's blowing up. So, and he's a good guy. So make sure you reach out to him.
Thank you.
So,
The reaction that I got from my last fight was, that was the best payment, man. I got 10 million views in my last fight. Now
dude,
it's
it's
round
phenomenal.
two. Let's multiply that shit, man.
Yeah, what's it, Sunday right now. Round two is Wednesday, right?
Yep. Yep.
So,
9 p.m. for you.
yeah, I'll be up. So anybody who's watching this right now, normally I take a couple days to release these things. I'm gonna release this by tomorrow after we do some editing, so everybody can see this before Wednesday. So we can get you some sponsors. We can get you on the right way.
Hell
So
yeah, man. Let's
last
go.
question for you, man, and I appreciate your time. I realize your time is valuable. It's one thing you can't get back, and you're spending it with me, so that means the world to me. What's next after you win everything?
My plan is like I didn't come here just to be a part. I know it's a cliche to say this, but I came here to take over. I came here to be a
Yes.
champion. Like I'm not here just to be a power slap fighter. I want to be the power slap fighter. I want to
Yes.
be that guy. So after what I see in the future for me is a top 10 fight. And I'll say a name too because we've been talking a little bit towards each other. Number 8 in the world, Chris Debo and I have been chirping at each other back and forth. I'd love to fight him in Texas. I think the next step for me is a sold out crowd. I'd love to walk out and touch masses. I'd love to have that that West Side music playing while I'm coming out and I'm touching people and just experiencing that energy. I have so much love in my heart. I just want to feel that, man. and
Nice.
and I see a bigger home in the future with no struggles, and all I want to see is my kid grow up.
Nice. And Chris, I know you're going to watch this, and I think we follow each other. He's calling you out, brother. Let's get this going, man. There's no reason not to slap face.
Hey, Chris Debo, you're a small ass dude, man. You're a small guy. I think you're too small for me. I look at a lot of these welterweights, and honestly, this is a new sport, man. I'm not really impressed with a lot of the guys that I saw in my season. I like them, but I think I'd take him the fuck out. Just remember, man, I'm competing in middleweight right now, and I'm a welterweight. So, I'm just saying, bro. Make sure you tuck your chin, duck if you need to.
Man, I appreciate again your time so much. We'll be talking offline
Thank
more.
you, brother.
Anybody that's watching, sponsors again, reach out to Rayden. I'll make sure I get you guys' contact.
Let's
Follow him
go.
on IG, and let's go this Wednesday. Power slap.
Yes, sir.